Welcome everyone. It's day 60 of our 365 days of yoga as we bring our hands to our heart space, setting an intention for today's practice. Maybe you want a little bit more flow, more flexibility. It's your practice. I'm going to start today with our nostril breath work technique. So placing your middle finger and pointer finger on your third eye, blocking off the right nostril with your thumb and breathing in through the left nostril, blocking it off with our fingers and then exhaling through the right nostril, inhaling through the right nostril, blocking the right nostril off with our thumb, then exhaling through the left nostril, inhaling through the left nostril, blocking it off with our fingers, then exhaling through the right nostril. Continue to repeat this process in your own time, trying to get deeper and slower with each breath. This breathwork technique supports balance of the right and left side of the body and brain. It helps calm your nervous system as well as connecting the physical, energetic and mental koshas in one action. It also helps focus the mind and slow down fluctuations. So just bringing the hands back on the knees now. Taking a big deep breath in, hands to prayer position as we exhale. Big deep breath in, arms wide, hands to prayer position as we exhale. One more time, big deep breath in, hands wide above our head, and then planting the right arm down on the mat as we lean over with our left arm, and then left arm plants down on the mat as we go over to the other side, right arm overhead, inhaling, exhaling as we bend. Inhaling, exhaling. Feeling that beautiful side bend. Back to center. Forward folding the upper body over the crossed legs now. Coming down onto the forearms. And if your body permits, maybe gently resting the forehead on the forearms or the floor in front of you. Just feeling this lovely stretch in and around the hips. You can interlace the fingers if you like and bring the hands behind the back of the head. You might get a nice stretch through the triceps here. Gently pushing back up onto the hands, crossing the legs the other way. Big deep breath in and then forward folding over the top. Gently resting the forehead on the floor. Otherwise you can rest it on your forearms. Felt so nice having the sun, the warmth of the sun I should say, hit my back this morning as we interlace the hands and bring them behind the head, and then gently pushing ourselves back up. Tabletop position, we're going to run through 3 cat-cows. Breathing in, exhaling into cat. Inhaling as we drop our stomach towards the mat. Exhaling as we take our gaze between our legs. Last time. Tucking the toes, downward facing dog. I'm just going to find some stillness. Pushing the heels towards the mat. Hips are high, legs straight. And then bring in some movement into the pose, pedaling out the legs if that feels good. Taking the right leg high now, and then bending the knee, opening the body up towards the sky, taking the leg long again, and then bringing the knee under the body towards the opposite elbow, holding for a moment, then kicking the leg back, bringing the knee to elbow, and taking the leg back. Bringing the foot between the hands now, dropping the left knee to the mat behind, coming into low lunge. Raising our arms up above our head and then bringing them to prayer position at our heart space as we turn the upper body and bring the right elbow to the outside. I should say left elbow to the outside of the right leg. Back to center. Hands on the mat. And then shifting our weight as we bring our bottom onto our heel, stretching the back of the leg, the right leg, forward into low lunge. Taking the body back, flexing the feet. One more time, moving forward, pelvis towards the floor. And then pressing back, feeling that beautiful stretch run down the back of the leg. Coming forward again. And then kicking the right leg back to meet the left in downward facing dog. Shifting our weight forward now into high plank. Holding, embracing the core, the upper body, and then slowly lowering the body to the mat. 3 baby cobras as we untuck the toes, relaxing the legs, breathing in as we push up, exhaling as we come down. Inhaling, exhaling, tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Taking the left leg long now. Bending the leg, opening the body up towards the sun. And then bringing the left knee to right elbow. Kicking the leg back. Again, elbow to knee. Kicking the leg back. And then placing that foot between the hands. Dropping the right knee at the back to the mat. Untucking the toes, leaning into this low lunge, raising our arms up above our head, and then bringing our hands to prayer position as we rotate the torso, right elbows coming to the outside of the left knee. Back to center. Hands on the mat, and then pushing back, bottom resting on the heel of the right foot, left leg's long, flexing the toes back towards the head, Shifting the weight forward again, holding, pivoting back. One last time. Taking the left foot back to meet the right in downward facing dog. High plank. Holding. And then lowering through our chaturanga. Untucking the toes, 3 baby cobras. Tucking the toes, downward facing dog. And then walking the feet up between the hands for a forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Big deep breath in as we raise our arms above our head, bringing our hands to heart center before dropping our arms by our side. Fingertips are spread wide as we ground down in this beautiful Tadasana pose. Engaging the core, the thighs are turned inward, shoulders are dropped away from the ears. You can feel the 4 points of the feet resting on the mat. Hands back to heart center, taking that right foot back and coming side onto the mat. Feet are on a 45-degree angle. Big deep breath in as we come into goddess pose with our hands above our head in prayer position. Just holding here. Feeling the warmth build through the legs. Hands on our hips as we forward fold the upper body towards the floor. Hands on the mat. You can stay here or you can grab the elbows and just hang heavy, or grab the shins. Pulling the upper body closer to the legs. Feeling a stretch down the back of both legs in this pose. And then shifting the upper body over to the left side. And then over to the right, holding for a moment. And then just picking up the pace as we swing from one side to the other. Like a rag doll. Back to center. Letting everything go. Big deep breath in. So take our arms wide. Hands to prayer position as we drop down into our yogic squat. Pushing the knees out with the elbows. Back is straight. You should be able to wiggle the toes as you press down through the heel and the balls of the feet. And then pressing down through the right hand, we're going to go straight into side plank. So taking both legs out long, Left arm is high towards the sky. We're going to do a box plank sequence. So starting on our right side here, we're going to roll over and come onto our back for a reverse plank. Hands are facing the feet, lifting the hips high, embracing the core, the thighs, the glutes, the shoulders, and then rolling over to the left, planting down through the left hand. Legs are straight, right arm is up towards the sky, holding the hips high, and then coming over into a high plank. And then slowly lowering the body to the mat. 3 baby cobras. Pushing back, downward facing dog. Bringing the right leg up and under the body now for pigeon pose. Left leg goes long out behind. Coming down onto the forearms. And if it's comfortable to do so, feel free to fold the forearms and bring the head down over the top to get an even deeper stretch. And taking a moment to find some peace and serenity in this pose. You deserve to be here on your mat today. As we gently start to push back up onto the hands, tucking the toes, downward facing dog, and across straight over to the other side now, bending the left leg up and under the body, untucking the right toes as the right leg goes long, coming down onto our forearms. And this might be enough for you to stay here, but if you do want to go a little bit deeper, cross the arms and gently rest the forehead on top. And just know that taking time out for yourself today is one of the best things that you can do for your physical health, your mental health, and your spiritual health. As we push back up onto the hands, downward facing dog. I'm just going to hover the knees above the mat now. So bringing the wrists underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips, toes are tucked. Really embracing the core. And then we're going to add some movement as we bring the knees into touch and then take them out wide. Touch and then out wide. Repeat this a few times. Dropping to the knees as we turn over into boat pose. Taking the arms out in front, legs or calves at least are parallel with the mat. I'm going to do right tap, left tap, both feet tap. And then gently lowering the entire body to the mat. Just bringing the left knee up and hugging it in towards the chest, and then alternating to the right side, back to the left, to the right. Just repeating this process a couple of times. Feeling a bit of a stretch through the hips. And then taking both legs long, maybe giving them a little shake out and making any last fidgets before resting in Savasana. Savasana, also known as corpse pose, just brings rest and balance to the body, and also activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which allows for energy conservation and slowing of the heart rate. The whole philosophy behind this pose, which is my favorite, is if we still the fluctuations of the mind, we relax back into the presence. So as you lay here in this relaxed state, think about your heart rate lowering and trust that your breath will be there when you need it. Slow down the mind, slow down the heart, slow down the breath. And just feel fully present in this moment. Maybe you can feel all the connection points from your heels to your calves, hamstrings, glutes, shoulders, arms, fingertips, and your crown, all connected to source energy and the energy of the earth, which is swallowing us right now. As we lay here bathed in sunlight, starting to bring some movement back into the body now. Maybe stretching the hands and the wrists. Whatever feels good for you before rolling over onto one side. And then gently pushing your body up into a seated pose. Closing down the eyes, sitting nice and tall, as if a piece of string is being pulled from your crown towards the sky. And then taking our hands to our third eye, repeating after me. May I have kind and loving thoughts today as we lower our hands to our lips. May I speak kind and loving words today as we lower our hands to our heart. May I have kind and loving intentions today. As always, an honor to be with you on the floor today. Namaste.